Temiloluwa. Hi everyone.
I.
So I think everyone can hear me. So I think I'll take my introduction. Just like everyone at just like Ruth had said earlier. My name is Idris. I'm also like a graduate of what is it called, computer science. I'm from Lautech. I currently work as a senior recruiter at Works, and also like a project manager on some other projects that we have, right? So I think that's like a brief introduction for me. Every other thing else I can like post it via the chat box here, so you can read a bit of my citation and all, right? So how many people do we have in now?
We have 15 people. I don't know. I don't want us to just keep waiting. We actually had 18 before, but network dropped some people at some point and all that. So I think that's why we should start now.
Yeah, so let's proceed. So just to like get a sense of the people that we have on this call, are we all software developers? Either are we beginners, are we intermediate people, or we are just enthusiasts that we just want to like get into like the tech world? So I know where to like pick my discussion from.
Okay, so the audience is a mixture of professionals, intermediate developers, beginners, and people that don't even know where they fall for tech. They're just like, what should I do? So it's a mixture. So I think it should just be in between. Some people know what they're doing already. They're already professionals and they still want to learn. They're here too.
Okay. So that's fine. That's fine. So I'm just going to start. I'm just going to start this way. In recent times, oh, who took that picture down? I wanted to use that background as a form of projection on this call. Okay. So I've heard a lot of people speak to me about either they wanting to get into tech or how hard it is for them to like find job in tech and all of those things, right? So which is why myself and Ruth decided to like have this webinar with you guys, like explain some of like the little things that matters when it comes to um, when it comes to getting job as when it comes to getting job as a technical talent, so to say that you are like a UI UX person, a software engineer, developer, or even a data science person. As far as you work with the PC or your work is digitalized, then for me, I categorize you as a technical talent, right? So on this webinar, I'll be speaking about four things. That my agenda is to like speak about four things. I don't know if you guys can write them down. One is identifying relevant skills and how to set up learning exercise. Are we writing that down? Hello, are we writing that down?
Okay, can you come again?
So the agenda that I will be speaking on are identifying the relevant skill and how to set up learning exercise. That is one. Two, searching for opportunities with the right resume. Three, email processes and etiquette. And the last one is relevant interview procedures or processes and follow up. Right? Do we all have that down?
A minute, please. Yes.
Come again?
Yes, you're going to come
please.
again. But guys, for those that can hear me, if you want to communicate, like when Idris is asking questions, you can just make him know that you're following him by sending a message on the chat section. Thank you. Idris, please, you can come again.
So number one is identifying the relevant skill and how to set up learning exercise. Right? Number two is searching for opportunities with the right resume. So I'm posting them in like the chat section now for people that finding it hard to like hear my voice. Number three is the email process and etiquette. Right, email process and etiquette. Right, number four is relevant interview processes and follow-ups. So do we all have that down? So I'll start now since I already posted them in like the chat in the chat section. So I'll start by saying what is identifying the relevant skill, right? So in this day and age, I believe like a lot of great men before us have actually said something about coding and even involved in technology one way or the other. I think so at some point Steve Jobs said every child deserves to code or something like that, right? And yeah, and the world in which that we are entering into now, which is like the fourth industrial revolution, requires digitalization and innovation for from everybody, right? So the things that we'll be doing now will like be digitalized in like a very high sense of the word. Whatever it is that we've been digitalizing before is like a very minute, a very small percentage of what we'll be digitalizing now. It's going to be based off intelligence, and it's going to be based off based off technology. But if you look at it like from way back, people that have made money in the past made money from what would I call it, from a manufacturing standpoint. You talk about the manufacturing of the steam engines and all of those things, right? Most people that been like the rich men in the past focused only on manufacturing products, right? Mass production, right? But the new guys that are on the block now that are making a whole lot of the money and they are imparting the word in like real time and they are making sense are the guys that are focused on computing in a way. So talk about the guys of Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, and all of these guys, right? So which is why it is so important for us to like come into this age. Even if we are an accountant, then you need to like know how to use Excel as an accountant. You need to know how to use QuickBooks. You need to know how to use Waves and all of those things. And maybe at some point you can actually come ahead to like build your own, right? With that said, so first things first is we need to identify the relevant skills, right? If you are like a beginner, right, and you're asking yourself, what do I want to learn? Yes, I want to be involved in tech, right? But you need to like start from somewhere. You need to like have an idea of what it is that you want to do. If you want to be the web guy, you want to be the mobile guy, or you want to be like the DevOps or the server side guys, right? So as soon as all of those things have been identified and picked out, the next thing that you do is you go on job opening websites, right? Talk about Indeed. I think the other one is there, Upwork and all of this. All of these guys, they have job descriptions that they pick out. So these days, if you want to go into web development as an example, right? What are the things that you would see? I'm pretty sure it's really hard for you to see any web development job these days that are saying you should have a sense of PHP, right? So for a developer now that says, oh, I am doing full PHP, chances are you will not get job in like as much as you should, right? Because people are already changing. People are already using Laravel. People are using frameworks like Laravel, using Node.js and all of those things. So for me personally, I feel like the future of the web is based off the JavaScript family, JS and all of those things. So an example is Node, right? If you want to go into like the fintech space, if you are not doing ASP and any of those related stuff when it comes to backend, chances are you will not get job in any fintech or banking space or anything that has to do like with the financial institution, right? If you want to say you are learning web, right? A whole lot of people say they use Dreamweaver and all of those things, right? All of those tools are not what they use these days, right? So you need to like update yourself with the relevant skills that they are making use of now. Like what are the really popular skills or the skills that are in trend now that people are willing to employ people on, right? So an example, if you are going to front end, I think people that do Vue these days, people that do Angular, people that do React. So if you're a front end developer and you don't know React, you don't know Vue, you don't have an idea of what Angular is, right? Chances are you are reducing yourself to like very little opportunities in the market, right? If you say you are doing mobile development and you are saying it's only Java that you know, come on, that is not the relevant skill that is needed in this sort of environment. People are actually moving towards what do they call them? Cross-platform tools. Talk about React Native. Talk about Flutter. Talk about that. Talk about what is this other language? Xamarin and all of these things. right? You need to like get the relevant skills. How do you get the relevant skills? Is you visiting job placing website. Look for the skills that everyone wants to hire for, right? That is how you decide what skill that you are supposed to learn, right? Those are the skills in demand, because even after learning whatever it is that you learn, and you're unable to get a job with it, or you're unable to like do something with it, you get depressed after some time, because it is your passion and it is what you like to do. If you are not making money from it, then it becomes a problem for you, right? So I think that is that on getting relevant, identifying what relevant skills that are actually employable in the market. So how do you set out your exercise, right? So you've written down the things that you love to do. For me, I like to do front end. I like to like design website and make it look good and all of those things. Yes, I have identified um, the tools or the technology that I'll be using. Then how do I learn all of these things, right? So a whole lot of people walk about saying they are looking for teachers to like teach them these courses. Yes, it is important to like have a teacher to teach you, maybe either physically or online. But if you're unable to get that, there are ways that you can start. There are platforms that can help you walk through all of these things, right? You can go on for courses on Udemy, Udacity, I think EDX, Coursera, and all of these things, right? So all of those exercises allows you, and make sure whatever course you are picking as like a project-based learning, right? I'll be explaining that later. I think in searching for opportunities with the right resume, right? I'll be explaining that in that section, right? You need to like get courses that have project-based learning. Project-based learning in the sense that if it is data type that they are teaching you, they should give you like a project at the end of the data type subcategory that allows you handle a project or do a project on data type. So at the end of the day, if you are done with the course on its own, you can point to like 3 to 5 or 6 projects that you have actually done. That is how you test what you have learned, right? Because there are a lot of courses outside that they just teach people stuff. That is not to say they are not good, right? But they are not project based, right? So you learn, it's more like cramming, like cram, like pour. And that is if you are writing it down. But after learning, what else? What have you been able to try out with that skills that you've seen? Okay. Okay. Right. So what have you been able to share with those skills that you have, that you've actually learned? That helps you in a long way to understand the concept of what it is that you have learned. Right. I think with that I am done with the first part, which is like identifying the relevant skills and how to set up your learning process. Right. And also you need a mentor, so to say too. You need a mentor even after all of these courses. You need a mentor that you can always run to after running into a snag and all of those things, right? So going to the second one, searching for opportunities with the right resumes, right? So after learning all of these things for like 3 months, 6 months, you're able to like build like a login page, an index page, and all of these things. Like you start thinking that I have dedicated 6 months of my life to learning this, then I really need to like start earning a form of income from it, right? And that is where it leads me to like the next phase, which is searching for opportunities with the right resume, right? So in my own experience as a recruiter, people have sent me all form of emails, right? And I will tell you the reason why some people have actually not been employed at this point is not because they are not good or they are not the best at what they do, but it is because they don't have the right resumes. And I will give you an example. Right, so you send me a resume saying, okay, I put a job opening out, and you applied for it, right? And you sent in your resume, and I'm looking at it, and I am finding your name at the bottom half of the page, right? Which is like a total no-no. I am finding your skill set at the bottom half of the page. I am finding relevant information like your biodata and all of this is at an improper part of the page that they are not supposed to be there, right? So there's a way that you need to like structure your resume, and there are things that you need to like have on your resume that gives you an higher percentage, or that gives you an higher probability of being employed by someone that is looking for your skill set, right? So if you are coming up with that with a resume, the first thing that you need to have, right? So resumes are like and CVs are similar, and I'm actually not going to go into that, but they have like different types. But mainly now I'll be speaking about the functional one and how it is arranged, right? So you should, for functional, you should have your name boldly written on what will I call it, on the page of your resume. Your name should be there, right? Your relevant information, your phone number, probably your address, and what else is there? Your address and email address and your physical address should be there, right? Which is really, really important, because anyone that sees your email and that sees your resume and likes it, or they are impressed by it, they want to contact you. So if I see your resume and I like it, and you drop the wrong number there, or there is no phone number there, or your email address is also not there, there is no way I can get in touch with you, right? So after that, as a developer, one of the most important things that you need to have on your resume, or you need to have as a developer at all, is you having like a GitHub account, right? I laugh when people send me resumes and they call themselves developers and they don't have a GitHub account on their resume. I just laugh, because you wouldn't expect me to call you and say, "Okay, please send me your resume. Please send me a link to your GitHub account." When I have like 100 other people on that same, 100 other people that are applying for that same position, right? So your GitHub is really, really important to be on your resume, right? If you are a developer, you should have a GitHub account or Bitbucket or any of these things, right? If you are a designer, a UI UX person, UI UX person, graphic designer, and all of this, you need to like have a Trimble account, a Behance account. All of these things are online portfolio that actually makes it easier for people to like be able to understand what it is like, what you're about in a way, right? Because if you are sending me a resume, right, you wrote all of these things, I can work under pressure, this, blah, 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 5 years coding experience and all of those things. But how do I know that, who should I use as an example? How do I know that Nathaniel can do all of these things that he has written? The first thing that I want to do is I want to just even go to the GitHub account and let me see what is even, which is like my first point of reference. So if I go there and so if I go there and I say that, okay, this looks cool, then I come back and see the relevant skills that you have. So you call yourself like a front-end developer and you know nothing about what is it called, about HTML and CSS. You only come and say how to use Bootstrap alone, and that is what you can use. No, chances are people will not really employ you based off that. And you need to like be able to like outline your skill, understand what a correct programming language is, right? Understand what frameworks are, and understand what version controls and all of these things are. So I'll give you like a practical example. If you are saying you are a .NET developer, for example, you write C# or you write C++ and all of these things, right? That is a language on its own. There are other frameworks that come with these languages. Either it's ASP, either it's WPF, Windows Form, and all of these things. You need to understand that those ones are framework, and you put the main language, you put the main language under language itself, and you put these frameworks under framework. So people understand what it is you are trying to present to them. Do not just come and copy and paste all of these skills and put it on your resume, right? Because usually anyone putting out a job opening out, right? Be rest assured that they will be getting 15 to 20 people submitting resumes for that job opening, even if it's just one position. And bear in mind, this recruiter or this HR person has other jobs to do for that day, right? He just wants to like hurry through this process and deliver what he has to deliver. But if it comes to your own resume and he sees that these things are not well arranged, then it becomes a problem for him, and you'll be like, whoa, but boy, rather than putting you in the main list, because the way we do it is we have a main list and we have like a backup list, right? So the guys on the main list are those ones that are structured, right? You check he has a GitHub account, you go to the GitHub account and go and check that he has all of those things set. You can see his skill sets there, right? So those ones have helped you to an extent. So after declaring your skill set, then you now come to like the project that you have handled before. That is if you are a freelancer. But if you are not a freelancer, you come to your previous job experience where you have worked and the things that you have done, right? There are some job openings that are not meant for, you might be coding for 5 years, but if you've not handled some project, I cannot give those jobs to you. You cannot fully function in that role because you don't have the experience in it. So writing the project that you've handled and the things that the project is about, or most importantly, what you did on the project, including the technologies that you used on the project, is like really, really important. So let's take, for example, I worked on what is like the most simple thing anyone can work on. Database, one example, right? So this database is for 1,000 people, it's for 1 million people. And one of the things, or my own job on this, on building this platform, is that I did this, I did that, and I did that. Then I understand that Nathaniel has been part of a team before, and this is what he has done before. Right, so after outlining all of those projects down, then you can start putting your certifications and all of these things. Certifications when it comes to programming and software development is not so important, and I will tell you why. There are ways you get certifications that are dubious in a way, and you still will not be able to do what you are supposed to do on the field. Right, so except for people that take certification on AWS, Azure, and all of those things, right? So you can't really wriggle out of those ones. But for other ones, like the ones that you get off all of these content providers, either it's Udacity, EDX, and all of those things, people might just neglect it and say, oh, come on, can he do what he says that, can he do what he actually has a certificate for? So at times, some people don't really count on it, but you can also put it there for people to like show, for you to like show people that you've been able to like take part in all of these things, right? Then you can put some of the what is it called, the groups that you are part of, right? Just like the GDG guys, the Facebook developer communities, and all of those things, right? And the rest, if you are interested, for me, I am not interested in whatever school it is that you attend. But if you want to like fulfill all righteousness, you can just put your educational background, right? Probably your university up to your secondary school days, right? I'm not sure anyone wants to like understand why you didn't go to primary school and all of this. But for traditional recruiters, right? For technical recruiters, so to say, we don't focus more on your educational background. What we are really particular about is you being able to like deliver value that helps our company, which is where employment is going to. We don't want to know if you are fine or you're a guy or a lady. We don't care. What we care about is what you can do for us, and we pay you according to what we deem fit. Why? So take note, your name should be written boldly on your, what is it called, on your resume, followed by your biodata, and make sure mistakes are not being made on any of these things. Then you put your GitHub account either before or after your skill set. Your skill set has to like be clearly stated. I can't say how important it is, right? You need to like put your skill set there. And for developers, we are not interested in, I can work under pressure. I can do this. Like, leave stories for people that are non-technical people, right? For me, if I'm recruiting for a position, right, what I want to see is your skill set, the things that you can do. I am a front-end person, I am a back-end person, I understand the agile methodology of this Scrum that you know how to use, or Sprint, or any of these things. I understand version control and all of these things. Put them there, let me see them exactly how I want to see them. For quality assurance or for further assurance, put your GitHub link there, because before I call you, I want to go look at your code and see how well it is, right? So if all of these things are checked and you've done it right, the recruiter comes up with a list. If you are part of the list, they will reach out to you and say, so, we are interested in going further with you, right? So then we come to the email process and etiquette, right? That is after you have the right resume, then you can apply for the job it is that you want to apply for. In the process of applying, I have spoken with developers, or I have seen the developers that send me emails on job openings that they forward from another employer. So let's assume Nathaniel applied to Microsoft now. And And rather than he crafted an email and he sent it to Microsoft, right? So rather than he changing and restructuring before he sends to me, he just forwards that same email to me and he says, FYI, right? For your information, this is my resume. And I'm like, is this guy serious? Is he even looking for a job? So nothing shows that you are being intentional about that job, because part of what we look for when we are recruiting is you need to be intentional that you actually want that job. It's not that you are looking for job helter skelter. So you now saw our owner, you now apply. No, you need to be intentional. You need to like go through the right process, right? Have your resume, email the person and say, dear so. My name is this. I was scrolling, I was surfing through the internet and I saw your job opening. I have background in this and this and that. I have attached my resume to this just to like show my interest in the job opening and stuff. That way we know that, okay, this guy wants to apply, right? So not that you will send an email to an HR person or a recruiter and your email will not have a subject, right? If for me, I have like an average of 50 emails that I have to respond to every day. And for people that are used to email sending, they understand that email sending or responding to email is some of the hardest things that you can do at your job each day. Because some people send you an email and you need to like ask one person for information before you respond to it. Or you need to like craft it in your head and say, how do I respond to this person for me not to sound this way, for me not to sound out? Some emails say like 10, 15 minutes before you send, because you continue to read over it, the right information, or sending the information in the right tone to the person, right? So understand the email processes. If you are applying, take the subject, application for role of a front-end developer, application for this, that, application for that. So they understand the subject. Once the email is dropping in their inbox, they know what your email is for, rather than it being lost. So as soon as they open it, they are greeted with dear so. If your name is, if you know their name or not, dear HR team of so, dear so. Then that is clear, right? Which is like the body of the email, dear so. You put it, salutation should come next. Trust this meet you and all of these things, right? And you put your body of the email. If you have a cover letter, good. You can add it to it. If you don't have a cover letter, put your put your attach your resume to like the email and send it, right? So there's an etiquette to it. Etiquette is what I've just explained, how to like structure it in a way that it would make sense, right? I need to like check back periodically, because periodically, like maybe 2 or 3 days, right? Just to like confirm that your email has been acted upon or has been seen, right? So some of these guys, there are ways to go about it, which is like the etiquette part to that I didn't explain earlier, is how to spot it out. Some people don't put email, they don't put job openings out. What you need to do is go to whatever website. I don't know how you guys know how to scout website. Go to website and look at them, right? And say, oh, I have noticed so and so on your website, and I would like to sit down with you to like have all of these things sorted out to know where next to go, right? You can go that approach, which is like, I think they call it code calling or code something. I'm not so sure right now. You can go through that approach, or you can apply through their job openings. Any which way it works, as far as they are providing solution or they are providing a value to these people, right? So the next stage after this is doing a follow-up if they've actually gotten your email. And they go about it in 2 ways. If they've gotten your email and you've been picked, they send you an email to say, oh, we are having an interview, right? The interview can come in the form of you, they say, come to our office, we want to see you, right? And others come in form of a use case test. What I use most is a use case test. I am not interested in you coming to my office to see me. I send you a use case test. So a use case test is like a test that allows me assess your knowledge about some things, right? If the job that you are applying for is financially related, I send you a use case test that is related to like the finance industry. If what you're applying for is related to other industries, medical ones or whatever, I send you use cases that are related to that industry so that you can solve. Right. So for those people that want you to like come to their office, if they don't give you a use case test, for those people that need you to like come to their office, they still want to give you a test in their office. Right. What you need to do is understand how to code live. I think they call it live coding or something like that, whereby you guys are having a discussion. So I was on one call one time with a Russian guy, and he wanted to like recruit people for like a remote work and all of these things. So after sharing all of this, so I gave the guys a use case test to do. So I invited the Russian for a demo. So we're on like a Zoom call like this, and those guys were giving a demo. And at the end of the demo, he asked them a couple of questions, and they had to like live code all of those things. Let me see if I can. I'm not sure I can get those questions and like this because I had not seen all of those questions too before. I was surprised when I saw them. Right? All of these things actually are some of the processes that would help you land the relevant jobs, right? I don't have much time. I think I have like less than 5 minutes left. So I might actually just stop at this point to like take questions for the parts that I didn't touch on, for some of the things that, some of the questions you think that you might have as regards this. So can we start like dropping the questions in like the chat section or so can we start like dropping the questions in the chat section, or we start asking? Oh, okay, I still have time for questions. Okay, great. So all of these processes are really important. One, identify the right or the relevant skills that you want to learn. That is like really, really important. Health should be bouncing. Okay, so health should be bouncing up and down. And at this stage, bouncing up and down is not what you want to do with your time. Two, how to set up a learning exercise for yourself. Either you are going through the part of learning through a physical class, or you are taking courses online. And if you are taking courses online, make sure it is project-based. If it's not project-based, it's really, really tricky, right? Because there's no way you'll be able to like hold yourself accountable to, come in, please. So there's no way you'll be like able to like hold yourself accountable to the things that you've learned, right? Because programming is more like what you see is what you get. If I have taught you something and you did not practice it, or you did not take a project on it, and the next class you probably would have forgotten. But if you have written it down, coming to the next class, and you've actually forgotten it, can actually revert back to what we had spoken about, what you've done earlier. So that can kind of put you in the right sense, right? So searching for opportunities again, you need to know how to search, right? In the sense that there are job openings, there are job opening websites that you can go to. You have Indeed, you have Upwork, you have Freelancer, you have Fiverr, you have all of these things, and you need to know what to search for. It's not as if they are looking for an intermediate guy and you are a beginner and you are going to apply. You are going to apply for a 3 years or a 4 years job experience. You will not get it. It is not a course, right? Search for the relevant skills, what you know you have, what you know you can do, right? Have the right resume. Your resume should most very importantly contain your GitHub account. No one wants to be doing back and forth with you and says, come and send me your GitHub repository. No. So if you have for people that work with companies and their code base are with the companies and is under they are binded by some form of NDAs and all of these things, it is understandable. Tell them you can give them what is it called, a repository based on request, right? But either way, it is very important for you as a developer to like have your own private repository, your own project or body of work that you've actually done, right? So still on searching for opportunities too, you need to like be able to contribute to open source. That is how you get project. That is how people know that Nathaniel can do this, Nathaniel can do that. Nathaniel as a person should be able to like come and say, oh, should be able to like do storytelling about himself in a way, right? So just like I said, I did a storytelling about myself, 5 years plus experience with this. I have done this. I have worked with so people. I have sold myself to you. That way, you understand that I have an authority, the slightest authority whatsoever, to speak to you about what I am speaking to you on. Right. So for people to like be able to take Nathaniel serious as a person, as a developer, then he should be able to like sell himself to people. Right. So for people that cannot really write big words like that, what you can do is on your WhatsApp story, or I think they call it WhatsApp story. You need to like be able to sell yourself there. Write solution, not like all the jargons that we write and we say what are like the most technical things that we write. Don't write technical jargons. Just write things that people can understand. Right, normal layman person, that this is what this guy is trying to say, or this guy is into tech. And when opportunities come, or when they have opening in their place, or or someone that is looking for a job or an opportunity, they can relate to you and say, oh, I know a guy in Nathaniel on my WhatsApp, so that writes some jargons around this, and let me just ask him if he can do it or if he's interested or any of these things. This is how you land opportunities in this period. So with that, I think I've been able to like round up, and I'll be taking questions now.
Okay, thank you so much, Idris. Yes, so thank you so much. But I would like to ask, if you have slides, can you please share it? Because I believe some people would like to see the slides on
Yeah. So I can share the slide later. I am currently joined via my mobile, my PC. I don't know, it's been acting up all day, but as soon as I get it back up, I would share the slide with you.
Okay, thank you very much, Idris. Thank you for the section. So in case we have any questions, please let's drop it on the chat platform. Attend to it so that Idris can attend to it. Can we drop any of our questions?
They can unmute their microphone.
Okay, we're still waiting for anybody that has a question to ask Idris.
Okay, so while we're waiting for questions, I have a question.
Okay.
Is it possible that you share a sample of the CVs you talked about?
Okay. Let me see. Yeah, I should be able to like share one.
Then second, can you give about 10 people here access to like reviewing their CV?
Okay. Yeah. I think I should be. There's lockdown. I think I should have like enough time to do that. Yeah, I can.
All right,
so how do
thank
you guys intend to go about it? Should I
so if you're interested in Idris reviewing your CV, just right now, just drop your name on the chat so that we'll get back to you. Thank you.
Okay. Stay expecting our questions in case you have any questions. And one of the most important things Idris was able to mention was the fact that your skills is very relevant, and adding your GitHub account to your CV is one of the most important things. So in case we have any question which we are still waiting for, please let's kindly send your question now. Okay, we have a question on the chat platform. In case you are applying through LinkedIn, how do you get to add your GitHub account? Idris?
Yeah, so on LinkedIn, I'm pretty sure you can upload your CV on LinkedIn. I think I've tried it before at some point. You can upload your resume on LinkedIn itself. So at the end of the day, if you are going to be in touch with the recruiter, all you need to do is like click the link. It shows you, it gives you like a place to ask you that are you using that same resume that you have on your page, or you want to upload a new one. So if it's in your resume already, then you do not need to like have it reattached to you. You just send the resume to the person and they'll get in touch with you.
That answered. Is there any other question? Idris, I would like to ask, is there a particular, like something like a platform whereby people can get access to opportunity you can share with us?
Come again with the question, please.
Like, is there any something like a platform whereby people can get opportunity, like something like a website or so that you can share with everybody?
Yeah. So, as far as platform, um, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, so there are job opening platforms, just like I mentioned, Indeed, and all of those things too. I work for like a recruiting firm too, where we actually get jobs from employers and share with people that are interested, or we share with our pool of talent, right? But aside that, you can go online and search for platforms that actually do this. I know Jobberman does a bit of that, but they don't do. They are spread across all industry. They don't do many technical ones. You can use Upwork. I'm pretty sure Upwork does theirs. Indeed does theirs. Who else again? I know Fiverr does, and all of these things, right? But as far as technical recruiting in Nigeria, I am not sure that I really know much and what my own company does, right? So you could always wait for companies to like post their job openings out and see if you actually meet that the requirement. And also you can join communities too. I know this dev center. So dev center every once in a while they have job openings for developers and all of those things too. So did I answer that question rightly?
Yeah, thank you. Yes. So we have another question on the chat.
Okay.
Yeah. In case where recruiter gets to require more things that are required, how do we go about this? For instance, cases where recruiter are asking for a front-end developer and they get to add things like PHP and Java skills alongside. How are we to still apply and ignore the skills listed that does not have to do with the position?
Yeah, so that is one of the issues that we face currently. So bear in mind, some of these guys that put out job openings are HR people, and why? One of the reasons why, yeah, they are HR people, right? And also, they don't understand the processes of recruiting for a technical role. A technical role in the sense that either you're a developer, a software engineer, and any of these guys. So they put it out in the same way that they read it somewhere. They don't understand it, right? So what you can do is you can see all of those opportunities. If you have some of the skills that are required, you email the person and say, just so, I saw your job advert online and I would really like to inquire about it. Are you looking for a front-end developer, a back-end developer, or so, right? Or you could also go in the way of saying they are different job skill set outlined in the job descriptions that you shared, right? But as far as I'm concerned, or what skills that the skills that I have that are relevant to all of these job openings that you or the job opening that you shared is so. Or you can also further break it down and say this one that I have said is front end, this one that I have said is back end. They don't have any relationship with each other, right? Because recruiting for developers these days is like a new field. People with traditional HR sense cannot really recruit for developers because they don't understand the technologies and the tools that are involved in it. So the chances that you see some confusing job descriptions like that. I think I've
See if
answered.
anybody's okay, thank you very much. Do you have anybody that still have a question? Then I have this question. Um, does year of experience really matters when it comes to getting a tech job? For instance, whereby we have people that has like maybe they want 2 years experience, and on a norm you've not been working for 2 years, but you have the required skills that actually make up with that particular thing. Can someone still proceed to apply for that kind of job?
Yeah, you can apply, but the subject experience is like a very wide one, and I'll give you an example from my own personal experience, right? So at first, when I got into my role as like a recruiter, right? My boss usually tells me, uh, recruit based on requests that you get from an email or from the website. Do not interact with people via WhatsApp and all of these other social media handles. I'm like, what is this guy saying? What is more important to me is my own bottom line, me meeting my own KPI, right? Either whatever way I choose to go about it is my business. But I encountered one client one time, and you know what this guy did to me? He moved me from the email thread, moved me to like a WhatsApp thread. So for every message that he sends in, immediately I'm reading it, he's seeing a receipt on it, and he wants a response immediately. And it doesn't work like that. So it's always pressuring me till I make a mistake or I bend to what he wants, and that way he gets what he wants, and it might not actually work with the company's policy, right? So most times, or there are times that your skill set are really different from the experience. Like if you have coded for 2 years straight, 3 years straight, there are some experience that you would have had either from your client's interaction or from your version control. You must have experienced a certain problem before that is really different from your skill set. And how you are able to like resolve that issue is what is actually coming into your 2 years experience, rather than you having the right skill set or knowing the skill set to the level that you are supposed to know it to. Do you like understand what I've just explained?
Yes, yes, very well.
There's another question from someone.
Okay.
In case where you apply for a role and you're required to learn more programming language outside your skills, and they feel you are still learning, what's your take on that?
And the food that you are still learning.
Yeah.
Please
Should I recap?
rephrase the question. Yeah,
Okay.
come again with the
In
question.
case where you applied for a role and you're
Okay.
required to learn more programming language outside your skills, and
Okay.
they feel you are still learning, what is your take on that? Like you are not.
Okay, I think what the person was. Okay, do you get the question, Idris?
No, I still didn't get the question.
Okay, I think what the person was trying to say is that maybe at a point whereby you have a particular skills in which you used to apply for the job, but still they still want you to learn more skills. So in that kind of situation, what can someone do?
Yeah, so that is left to you if you want to learn or you don't want to learn. If you want to learn, go ahead and learn and join their team. If you are not interested in learning, you can just drop the opportunity and move on to something else, right? I think that is as simple as that. If it's not in line with what you want to learn as your career path or something that you want to know, just tell them, oh, you won't be able to learn that technology, and you would like decline the offer for now, and hopefully you apply next time for an offer that suits your particular skill set. No, there's no big deal in that.
Okay. There's
Okay,
another question.
thank you.
Okay.
Last question. So, in cases of no work experience, how can we still get a shot at a job?
Yeah, so in cases of no work experience, it is important that you have a portfolio, which is why I said if you are learning, part of your learning exercise should be project-based, right? So for people that learn through Bob Tabo, what that trainer do I know? I learn mostly through Bob Tabo. So they have projects after every topic that they are taking. Right. So as soon as you are done with that, topic, they give you a project that you need to do. So you are doing those projects, you're archiving them on your PC or you're uploading them to GitHub. At the end of the day, after you course, you have like a minimum of 3 projects at the end of the day, 3 or 4 projects that you can point to and say these are the things that you have done. Or you go into open source in the sense that you go on either Stack Overflow or maybe GitHub, for example, or even join any meetups that you see guys that are interested in having people on their team that will just contribute, maybe just even a line of code. So one of the things I did during my own time was I look for people that have projects that they are doing, and I want to be able to like reference their project on my own portfolio or resume. I'll ask them, do they need anyone that can do this, or do they need anyone that can do that? And they say yes, they are looking for a tester. I'll say, okay, I can test too now. I test for them. I put it on my resume that I worked on this project, right, as a tester, right? I didn't do much. I've worked on project that I worked as person that wrote documentation for the entire technology use. I still took part in the project in a way. I'm able to write it down. So that is how you get projects. Leverage on open source, speak with people, how you can collaborate with them, either via Meetup or whatever. Go on GitHub. Your learning process should be project-based, and do projects when you are learning. Don't just learn and be doing copy and paste and be writing it down. Take on projects that can reflect and you write those codes with your own hand and say, this is what I've been able to like do. So at the end of your learning process, you most definitely have 2 or 3 projects, and it works. So I think I've been able to answer that question.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. I'd like to have maybe some